Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new, I'm Kelsey, and this is my channel, Kelsey Designs. Today we're going to be looking at some of my past designs that I did in the fall semester, currently in the spring semester here at college at Iowa State. And so I'm just going to, look at those designs, and then I'm going to give my thoughts on them now that the final is submitted for all the designs, and then rank them from ones that I thought was most successful to least successful. So the way the design program works at the college I go to is that the first year you do a core program, so all of the design students, no matter what major, whether it's like graphic design, interior design, are all taking the same classes, and then you apply into your programs at the end of your freshman year, and then in your sophomore year you start. If you're accepted into your program, then you start into your actual program and that curriculum. So last semester was my first semester doing my graphic design curriculum, and we had to learn the three main programs that we learned were Illustrator, InDesign, and then Photoshop, which was all overwhelming because I had never personally touched any of those programs. So that was kind of fun to learn, but I kind of want to go back in memory lane a little bit and look back at some of the previous designs that I have done. So I'll just kind of focus on the posters that I did, and not like some of the little exercises we did. So I'll like pop them up over here. The pictures of the designs, and then at the end I'll probably rate. I think I have 10, so I think I'll do top 5 and worst 5. And I'll just comment about a little bit of the process of all of these. So my first one we did in my type class, which if I say type, that just means typography, so it's just a design class focused on text and words and stuff like that. So the first poster we did was we picked 2 random sentences of our choosing and made them into a poster. So for mine, I chose to do 2 kind of inspirational / life quotes, and so one of them I did was, "The hardest thing to learn in life is which bridge to cross and which to burn." And then the second sentence was, "I found that if you love life, life will love you back." And as you can see over here, where I popped the picture up, I have the sentence that says, "I found that if you love life, life will love you back," in a heart, and then I have the rest of the text kind of around it. This was my very first poster that we ever did, so I mean, looking back, I don't think it's good now, but this was a really fun poster to make, and at the time I didn't think it was bad, but I had fun messing with gradients in this one. So a lot of the main words I wanted you to focus on, I added little like slight gradients to them, which I really like that. If I was to redo this using the same 2 sentences, I don't think I would do the heart for the one. I'd figure out another way to lay them out, just because I think the heart makes it harder to read the second sentence. So that is the first one. Now my second one is also my type class. So my type class, we did a lot of little small projects, and then my graphic design studio, we did one big project over the course of the semester. So this poster is Friends, like the TV series Friends, and this one we were focusing a bit more on on hierarchy, so like what your eyes would read first, and so we had to pick something we had an opinion about, and so I picked that Friends is like a good show to watch, and so The poster, I just kept the same color scheme as like the show's logo, the friends with like the little dots in it, and so I kind of stacked the friends up using that same like dotted logo kind of, and a similar like type that is used in the original logo. And then I added a smaller sentence under it that says "'cause why not," and then a more body paragraph of text under it, and then I put little colorful bubbles around it, and then I put "how you doing," which is a quote from the show, and then Central Perk, which is like the little coffee place, and I made little logos for those. So this one, I really enjoyed this one, and I thought it was a really fun poster to make. And I really liked how it turned out. I thought it was a very simplistic approach, but it was really fun. So that one, looking back at my tech class, is probably one of my favorites. And that was only the second like official poster we had made. So the next poster I'm looking at is what my professor called our type specimen poster. So we were assigned a typeface that we had to use throughout the whole poster, and we had to do research and some background behind the font, and then make a poster using only the font. We had to have the whole alphabet, uppercase, lowercase, and the numbers 0 to 9, and then show different versions of the font, so like bold, italic, stuff like that, and then have 2 paragraphs about it and 2 sentences. So the font I chose was Futura, and it's a very equal weighted font and a very geometric looking font. And so this poster, as like my professor stated, was like a very like 90s vibe, and this is one of the first ones we were able to use color for, so I used pink. And pink is like one of my favorite colors, and I just thought it also showed the essence of the font really well. But personally, when we were making like iterations for this one, we were making like different ideas for it. This one originally, so I had 2 other ideas minus this one that is the final one. I just kind of came up with this idea, and it just kind of stuck, and I really liked this idea from the first get-go. So this is like one of my probably so far favorite designs, and I keep joking with all of my design friends. I'm like, my career doesn't get any better than this poster. It was here, because even in our final critique for this project, my professor really didn't have anything negative to say about it. So I really like this one, and this one was just super fun. So my next one I have, it's not a poster. This one's technically an album cover. So these are all for my type class, so that's why they're very typography based. But so we had to pick an album of whatever artist we wanted, and then make an album cover for it using type and image. So like we could basically only use shapes. And for this one, I chose Lover by Taylor Swift. Low-key, one of my favorite albums of like probably all time. Such a good album. Tells a story from beginning to end. So for this one, at the beginning I really struggled with finding a good design and layout that I thought represented the essence of the album well. Since I found it so hard to find something to do the essence, I kept listening to the songs, and despite the album being called Lover, I personally thought that it was kind of almost like a sad kind of breakup-y album, so I wanted to incorporate the title along with the kind of sadder songs that she sings in this album. So to do that, I made clouds, and I took the original color pink and then a little purpley color to outline the clouds, and then the light blue for the sky, which she used in her original album cover. And then I took the purpley color, it's like a purple maroon and had cars kind of cascading down as if they're raining from the clouds, and they get slightly lighter as they go down. And so the front, I just used a pretty cursive font for the Lover and Taylor Swift. And then on the back, there's a big cloud that has, it has some information about the album, has a barcode, and then there's a smaller paragraph one that, that just talks more about like what colors and the inspiration behind the album. And then I have all of the covers. So there's little hearts and then the track. So it's like the first one's like I Forgot You Existed, and then I have them all kind of teetering as if they were like kind of falling from the rain. So this one, I really enjoyed this one, and I thought this one was super fun to do, and also probably one of my personal favorites. I feel like I'm just saying these are all my favorites, but some of them I know were not stronger. So now we'll move into my graphic design studio class. And so for the majority of this entire class, we just worked with social posters and like spreading a message through posters, because posters is one really important medium in graphic design. So I made 3 posters and we had to pick a topic. So my topic I chose to use for this was global warming. So I made 3 different posters with different aspects of global warming. So the first one I'll show you is the one I made about ocean acidification. I think I'm saying that right. So I took the city landscape photo from a website that's like copyright free, and then I took the ocean, and that's just like one layer of ocean that I took into Photoshop and duplicated and switched the way the waves flow, and I made it, I blurred it more the farther back it was, and then had it less blurred the farther, or the closer it was to the viewer. Because realistically, if you were looking at the ocean, it would kind of look like more blurred the farther away you are, and less blurred closer up. And so then I put a picture of the earth in the water, kind of like if it's drowning. And then I have some typography that is kind of hidden, and I wanted it kind of hidden in the water, that says "Stop drowning our oceans in carbon dioxide because it is killing our animals and whatnot." So I just wanted that one to be really simple and sweet and to the point. So this one, I really like how this one turned out. Out of the 3 I did in this class, this one's definitely my favorite. And then the next one I'll do is just about like how trees and stuff, trees in the landscape and whatnot, is affected by global warming, and how it will all kind of die off if we don't make a change. So this one, I have a silhouette of a tree, and then I have a mirror with like the tree trunk cut off, and then it's a white background, and it just says, "Look into the mirror at the changes you're causing." And then it has text at the bottom that says future and present. So like currently we're here, and the future will be here if we don't make a change. So this one was fun. So I took a silhouette of a tree, again from like a website that we could use in class, and then I duplicated the tree and took it into Photoshop and like cut it off like really abruptly, so that the tree trunk, is kind of broke. And then I added some reflections and stuff in the mirror to make it look like it was more realistic. And then the final one we did for this class is actually an animated poster. I'll see if I can show the animation over here, as well as the original poster. So this one is in a reddish space background with the earth kind of morphed into a bomb, and the bomb slowly like ticks away, as you'll see in the animation that I'll show. It slowly ticks away, and then typography pops up, that's like time's ticking away, save our earth before it's too late. And I thought this one was cool because it's kind of combining hidden, like something that's hidden that you wouldn't think of, with the issue. So it's combining the bomb and like fire and blowing up and heat, which is what global warming is. It's like the heating up of our planet. So I thought that was kind of like a cute, neat little way to incorporate that into it. And this one I had to Photoshop the earth onto the bomb and then cut the rope of the bomb and move the flame as we went along on the animation so that it looked like it was, you know, exploding. And then I added the explosion at the end. This one, out of the 3 from this class, I spent the most time working on this one. So this one I would say is definitely a favorite of mine. Looking back now, I think there are a lot of changes I can make to the animations. The animation of this one, just because I know a lot more about how to animate now than I did when I made it. We did one poster in my photography class, and then we did 2 other projects, but these weren't like poster based. So we had to make up a fake movie and make a movie poster for it using photos that we took. So the movie that I kind of made was titled The Last Kill, and it was basically a girl that was like hiding in the forest, and this like monster creature kind of comes out and attacks her. So I made the movie poster for it and like fake actors and things. So I had a nice like kind of triangle cut image that I took of a V, so I like cut that out in Photoshop and put that on the poster. And then I took a picture of my friend who was also in the class, and she's kind of hiding behind the tree, and then I placed that and layered that behind her in the tree, and I turned her kind of like red, like a reddish hue, because I wanted your eye to like draw right on that at first. And then I have these red kind of creepy looking clouds that I added with like a hand kind of reaching out at you through those clouds. That's kind of above the girl. And then there are like blood stains like all on the tree, kind of like insinuating that she's the last one. And I called it The Last Kill because I wanted to like kind of insinuate that she's the last one and that there were others who had kind of died. The reason I kind of did like a creepy horror film was because we were doing this around Halloween, so I just thought that was kind of fitting. And so there's that, and then I found this like kind of creepy dripping font, and did the title in like a kind of dripping bloody font, and then put like a shadow behind it, so it like really brings that out at you. And then just at the bottom it has like all of like the credits, like who made it, who took the pictures, who did the video and stuff like that. And then I did put basically all of the photos in black and white. Like I converted them into black and white just because I like the feeling that gave. Personally, this, once again, probably not one of my favorites. It's also not one of my best works. Looking at it, like the cutouts of things are like kind of choppy, and I could have made them smoother. But once again, this was like I didn't really know much about Photoshop at the time. I'm not sure now if I like the red clouds kind of, you know, in the sky. I'm not too sure about how I feel about that. And I think if I were to redo it, which I might make a video of redoing it because I love the concept behind this, but I just don't like how it ended up being executed. So now that I talked about all of my posters from last semester, now I'll just kind of rank them into, so I talked about 8 different posters, so I'll rank them into my favorite and least favorite. So my favorite was my Futura poster. I just really liked that one. That one came together well, and the execution was just really good. And that one was pretty solid from the start, and there's not much like looking back I would change about it, if anything, honestly. So my second favorite is my ocean acidification poster. I really like this one, and I like how it turned out, and I think the message for global warming is really strong in that one, so that's why I put that one in the number 2 spot. Number 3 is my bomb poster. I think the message is really clear, and I like the hidden meaning that is in the poster. And I also think the animation really helps give the viewer a realistic feeling, I guess, of what'll happen to the planet if we don't make a change. Like, it will be gone. My fourth favorite is my Lover album cover. I just really liked this one. I thought this one was interesting because I actually, as I talked about in that section, that one took me the longest to kind of come up with a solid idea for, and I came up with the idea for using hearts in one and then the raining teardrops I had originally, and so I kind of combined it, like 2 ideas together into that one. So that one started off really rocky and ended up being really good. There's a few things I would change about it now, so that's why it kind of ranked a little bit lower than some of the other ones that I think were a little bit more solid. Then I put my Friends poster. I think that one is really solid as well. It's pretty simple, and I'm not a huge fan of the text I used or the type I used. I think it could have been better, and some of the placement of things are just a little bit off, and I think I could have made a more balanced piece overall. So that one was number 5. So then I put my movie poster at number 6. I would have ranked it higher, but there's just quite a bit about it that I would change. So that's why that one got marked at that spot. I talked a lot about how a lot of it I was just kind of unsure about, and so that one was number 6. So number 7 is my mirror poster. That's like the reflection, looking at the reflection in the mirror. Global warming poster. I wasn't a huge fan of this one at the beginning, and then when it that was the first one I made in that class, and it just didn't come together as I had hoped, and it was a really simple poster, and once again, I don't think the typography really helped bring out much in that one. I mean, the words that the text said were fine, but I would have, looking back, I would have picked a different sans serif font. And then finally, in 8th place, I put my 2-sentence poster. So that's the one that had the 2 kind of life quotes in it, and had 2 of them had one in the shape of a heart. The balance overall on that poster was just really rocky and rough, and it was like one of the very first ones I did, so there's quite a bit I would change about it layout wise, and readability is just kind of confusing on where your eye is supposed to go, because of that heart shape. So I would put that one at number 8. So that concludes this video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope you'll join me in the next video. I think I'm gonna try and post videos bi-weekly, and we'll see how that goes. Don't keep me to that, but I think bi-weekly will probably work pretty well with me with my schedule and everything, and give me plenty of time to get the videos edited and uploaded. So yeah, I guess I'll catch you on the next one. Love you guys. Bye.